Today with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you look on the gigantic, sharp, interactive board, you'll see Great America's headquarters in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. You'll also see a sign that says sale coming soon with some question marks. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that Great America is positioning itself to sell the company. And I also believe for sure they're going to sell off Collabrance. And the reasons I believe these things I'm going to share with you here today. But before I do that, the first thing I want to do is I want to share this quote by Kristoff Waltz. It goes like this: facts can be so misleading, where rumors, true or false, are often revealing. Facts can be so misleading, where rumors, true or false, are often revealing. And ladies and gentlemen, we all know that rumors are born in some facts. We also know that rumors cause one to explore the probabilities of the rumor coming true. And usually in those expeditions, you find out things. You discover the unknown. You discover things that make you ask more questions. Quite honestly, the industry I call home, those friends of mine that sell supply and service print equipment, I wish they would do more exploring. I wish they would look where no one else is looking so they could discover what everyone else is missing. Ladies and gentlemen, in my expedition, I found an article in the Quarter Business Journal, CBJ, there in Cedar Rapids, and it's an interview with Tony Golovic. This interview was done on May 11th of 2023, and they're talking to Tony about the company. And the first thing I want to say is this: Tony and his family and all the people at Great America built a phenomenal leasing company. There is no doubt about that. It's one of the best in the industry. It started 30 years ago, and when this company started, they came into the marketplace to solve a problem. You know what the problem was? The problem was the leasing companies in the marketplace were getting really, really bad at communication. And it was really, really hard for sales reps and dealers to communicate with the leasing companies, as leasing companies were offshoring customer service. And Tony came into the marketplace and he was going to change that. Their motto was, we answer the phone in 2 rings. And 30 years ago, that was super important. And they gained a lot of momentum, and they brought customer service to the dealers in ways that the other leasing companies just couldn't do it. But ladies and gentlemen, a lot's changed since the 90s. Quite honestly, today, you don't need to have phone calls with leasing companies. I realize that some folks are going to say, well, Ray, that's why we still do business with Great America. Their customer service is off over the top. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, you got to be able to scale your business, and you got to be able to scale it in the way of the majority of the marketplace, not the minority. And at the end of the day, the cost of money is getting tougher than ever. And at the end of the day, technology is changing things drastically. Do we really need to answer the phone in 2 rings? Probably not. And I'm not saying that's the only benefit that Great America brought to the marketplace. They do some wonderful things for our industry. But things change. That's just a fact of life. Tony, you know, he's at a time in his life right now where it's like, okay, it's time to turn over the reins. It's time to have a succession plan. He talks about the succession plan in this article. He talks about how his son Martin will be a co-CEO alongside of Stan Herkelman, will be the other co-CEO. This was written in May of 2023. And now I start thinking, well, where's Stan at today? And then I go and I start exploring more. And I have some questions because there's some folks missing at Great America that make me believe that maybe they are positioning to sell the company. Ladies and gentlemen, here's 2 folks that are missing off the leadership page on the website of Great America. David Pullman. And we all know David, what a fantastic guy he is. I mean, he supported our industry like nobody's business, right? I mean, he helped Great America big time over his tenure with Great America. He's a well-respected individual in our industry. He's not on the leadership page anymore. There's a rumor that he's left the company. Stan Herkelman's not on the leadership page anymore. And I'm just wondering what happened since May of 2023 with the co-CEO position between Stan and Tony's son Martin. What happened with that? And then I started thinking, and ladies and gentlemen, let me just go here real quick, because I mean, I'm not making this up. If you go to Great America's website and you scroll down here, you'll get to the leadership page. And in the leadership page, there you go. There's no David. There's no Stan. And I just think that's interesting. There are 37 other vice presidents, but we know that leasing companies, finance companies, they love vice presidents. They got a lot of them, right? But let's go back here to my presentation. I'm going to blow this up to the full screen. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm just thinking, if people like David and Stan are leaving, where's the retirement parties? Where's the announcements? Why are we not having this? Why is this not exciting? I mean, anytime companies are losing key figures and they're not really having a big party or excited about it, what's the reason for that? I'm just saying there has to be a reason for that. I mean, we got one gentleman that's been in our industry for a long time. Every time there's a meeting, they have some kind of celebration of this guy's time in the industry, getting ready to have another one coming up. And I'm looking at these folks at GreatAmerica. They leave the company. No one says anything about it. I don't even know if anybody knows that Dave is not with the company anymore. That's a pretty recent thing, that rumor. But rumors cause one to explore. You know, we all know there was some equity partners. You know, rumors over the years were that David, Jenny Fisher, and Stan had some little bit of equity in GreatAmerica. Has that equity been paid off? Are these folks all leaving? We also heard that Jenny Fisher will be retiring. I believe this is her last year. She could probably confirm that for us. But things are changing. And if they're not going to have any announcements, why is that? And then, through my exploration, I find some articles in the Monitor Daily, and they're talking about the securitization that GreatAmerica just went through, another $655 million. When they bundle up their leases and they sell them off, and it's just a common practice in the leasing business. But in this article, they say something. Let me blow this up. The company is distinct from many other small ticket equipment leasing companies because it benefits from long tenure and senior management continuity. I mean, that's a benefit. They're selling that benefit. Our management team has a lot of tenure, continuity, and now we're starting to see it. Well, they're leaving. Does that change the continuity? Does that change the thinking at GreatAmerica? Is that why they're not sharing who's going? I'm just asking the question. Let's talk about these more than a finance company things that GreatAmerica does. If you go to GreatAmerica's website, they say more than a finance company. And I would just say what's more than a finance company could be worthless to a finance company that's looking to buy GreatAmerica. And if they decide to sell the leasing company, is PathShare going to stick around? Is the portfolio services going to stick around? We would know we could pretty much guarantee 100% that no one that buys GreatAmerica wants anything to do with Collabrance, the IT service provider. I don't even think GreatAmerica wants anything to do with Collabrance at this point anymore, and I really believe Collabrance is up for sale. I really do believe this, and I'm going to share some reasons why I believe that. It was about 2 years ago, I did a video and I was talking about the master service provider, Collabrance being one of them, and if you watch me, you know that I'm not a big fan of Collabrance. I think when Collabrance was started 14 years ago, it was visionary. GreatAmerica decided they wanted to help dealers get into the IT space, and they brought Collabrance to market, and they should be applauded for that. But ladies and gentlemen, just because you have a vision, you're first at something, you're trying to grow something and help the dealers out, you have to decide when that doesn't work, when that's not profitable, when it's time to exit that strategy. I think GreatAmerica should have exited the Collabrance strategy a long damn time ago. And they kept doing it. But at this point in time, I really, really do believe it's time that they sold it. And I believe they are going to sell it. And if they're going to sell the leasing companies, they sure as hell have to sell Collabrance, because I don't think anybody would want any part of that. But ladies and gentlemen, after I did that video, there was some articles coming from GreatAmerica. Collabrance. Is Collabrance for sale? Remaining a privately held company in the IT space, and it goes like this. My answer is no, of course not. Collabrance is not for sale. We have absolutely no intention of selling it in the foreseeable future. You may be a bit skeptical or think that every business is for sale at the right price, right? Here, that's simply not the case. Let me explain, and he went on to explain how important it is that they remain private. They're not like the private equity guys. They're going to make sure that their dealer partners that are on Collabrance have some security and they feel comfortable. They're not worried about who's going to buy them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it went from, of course not, Collabrance is not for sale. If you go to their website today, it says, currently, Collabrance remains a wholly owned subsidiary of GreatAmerica Services. It went from never and not to currently. As a matter of fact, when they published that article back then about never not, I said never say never. That's not a good thing to say. You got to be careful what you say and how you describe your exit strategies. Because one day what you say could come back and kind of haunt you. Because now those dealers that are on Collabrance, they're probably thinking to themselves, whoa, where's our security? Where's our stability? Are they really going to sell or are they not going to sell? Ladies and gentlemen, on the website for Collabrance, Hannah O'Donnell, Vice President of Sales, and Greg Van Walker, Senior Vice President of IT Services, weigh in. Well, Greg Van Walker is no longer the Senior Vice President of IT Services at Collabrance or GreatAmerica. He's left GreatAmerica altogether and Collabrance. Hannah O'Donnell is no longer the Vice President of Sales of Collabrance. She's over in the leasing side. So they made some changes. They're not reflecting those changes on the website. When you don't reflect changes on the website, when there's people missing in the leadership roles from the website, when you change the way you talk about what you're not going to do, when you start saying currently, which is, by the way, the correct way to do that, it makes one believe there are some things going on. Ladies and gentlemen, I shared this slide when I talked about Collabrance, one of the many times. You know, if you think about it, at this point they were showing 10 companies using that services on their website. I questioned, do you only have 10 companies, 4 of which were in the print space, all leading me to believe that Collabrance was never really getting any momentum and that GreatAmerica really should get rid of it. Now on the website they don't show any customers at all, and at the end of the day, I figured they would have explained how they had more customers, not just take them off the website. I don't see any real value in a master service provider buying Collabrance. That's the problem. Who's going to buy them? And I think GreatAmerica is going to struggle at selling Collabrance. I don't believe they'll ever get any kind of ROI off of this. If they do work something out with another master service provider, it'll probably be just to unload the business so that those customers can get taken care of, which would be a noble thing. But we'll see what happens. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to go on record here today as saying that I believe Collabrance will not be in the hands of GreatAmerica much longer. So who's going to buy GreatAmerica Leasing? You'll see I put Wells Fargo sold, ? It's about time Wells Fargo bought a leasing company, isn't it? Of course, if Wells Fargo buys GreatAmerica, we all know how they kind of operate when they buy up a leasing company. Okay, we've seen them do this in the past. So that would be, let's just buy this thing and, you know, pull all the costs we can out of it and figure out how many customers we're going to end up with at the end. But at the end of the day, let's just buy it, grab the base, and hope we can make some money. The other buyer that I think is more exciting to me would be Peak Solutions. And we all know that Peak Solutions is a private equity-backed roll-up of leasing companies. And they're going into the marketplace and they're shaking things up a little bit. Could they buy GreatAmerica Leasing? I think they probably could. And at the end of the day, I think that GreatAmerica Leasing in a portfolio with Peak would be pretty powerful. No one knows what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. But rumors, a lot of times, are based on some facts. And I'm hoping that it makes the industry go on an exploration like I did and start looking into GreatAmerica. Start thinking about Collabrance. Start thinking about other players in our industry, because our industry has to consolidate. Not just the OEMs. Dealers have to consolidate. There's got to be so much consolidation because our industry is oversaturated. And everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.